Okay guys, yes, I'm doing a video. There's been a lot of questions with regards to molding bath bombs and what's the proper technique to mold a bath bomb so you don't get that cracking in the middle or the flatness and all the things associated with a bath bomb. So, we're going to do a couple little experiments. We're obviously going to make bath bombs, but we're going to try... I'm out of breath, I just went upstairs. I brought up a whole bunch of different bath bomb molds. I've got some saucer ones, mini ones, and... Did I bring big ones? Yeah, big ones. So we have the big ones, okay? Big saucers. I brought up the one that I absolutely hate, but this used to be my go-to staple a long time ago, was this aluminum one. There's a lot of these you see on eBay. I used to have good luck, and then they started going for... They just kind of went south, and you can see I've been banging the crap out of them to get them to work, so I don't really use them. I've got my stainless, which I absolutely love and use all the time. I've got Christmas ornaments. I brought up a heart one just to show you. I've got molds to show you because there's... Oh, cracked it. There's different ways to pack your bombs. And then you get different outcomes. So I will try to keep this somewhat informative and professional if I can, but we already know that always gets blown way out in left field. And guess what? I didn't bring up my oil. Crap. Can you hold on for that 1 sec? Okay, sorry about that. I could have used my fractionated, but I already have labels made, so I didn't want to have to make new labels with fractionated coconut on it, so I'm sticking with my apricot here. I've got all my ingredients in here already, as far as all the dry goes, just the dry. So I just gotta break up a couple chunks because I didn't do that. I was trying to save time. This one is colored with mica. I'm gonna do sweetgrass again because I ran out. And I will do some without embeds to show you just normal molding, but when I do my bath bombs, I always do embeds. That's just sort of my thingy-bobby that I do now. So, alright. And I know you're supposed to measure it. It'd be like 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. I don't. I just do it. That's just me. Like I said, I've been doing them so long. You kind of go by feels. I would start out with less first, because you can always add more oil, but you can't take out oil. But if it did get to the point where, say, it was too oily, you could easily just add in more soda, more citric or whatever, just some more of your dry ingredients to kind of balance it out. So anyways, that was just the oil and fragrance added in. And I'm just giving it a quick mix. I know I was going to do this before you, but I want you to see the texture. I want you to see what you're looking for. Oh god, sweetgrass, yay! So now I've got it all off the sides, but I've got all these chunks. So you have to... Oh, I did it again. Girls and boys, I forgot my stupid stool. Here we go again, boring. Mix, mix, mix. Hey, if you have to, you're making bath bombs, you have to do this part. It just... You know, it's gotta be... Well, this coat is too long and I'm getting it all over the sleeves. I guess that's what it's for. So you get in there and you're getting all your lumps. And making a mess. Getting all your lumps and chunks out. You can use your mixer, my pastry cutter, whatever you got. I left my pastry cutter over there. I'm sure you don't want me to... Well, maybe I'll just quick grab it. It's right handy. It just helps quite a bit to get in there and get everything mixed in nice, especially when you have a bit of chunks in the bottom. And I like these kind of bowls better for mixing than the low bowls. I mean, you can use low bowls, it's whatever you got, but I like plastic bowls for doing bombs or stainless, and I like the higher ones. They just seem a little better. Okay, that's pretty good. See, this is so much better than the whisk. So, all right. I'm going to show you texture as of now without witch hazel. Can you see this? Okay. You can give it a squeeze, and it kind of, if you see that, it kind of sticks together. And I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I can mold it like that. Well, you can mold it like that, but it's not going to stay a hard, solid bomb when you're done, because the oil isn't going to get hard. And I know a lot of people think, oh, well, they're still going to get solid. Well, they do kind of get solid, but these would be the bombs that if you dropped them, they would go, so they still work. There's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people who don't use witch hazel or alcohol or anything like that to bind, but me personally, I've had way better luck when I have actually added a binder. Like, I mean, these may form and look good. I'm sure for cupcakes, if it's something that you're not going to worry about, you know, being tossed around because they're in a cup, it would probably be okay, but I always use a binder. So this is my witch hazel, and I filled it up, and it does activate quite a bit. It's not quite like alcohol as far as its reaction time, because the higher, I'm not going to use this, the higher the percentage rate in your alcohol, the less reaction you will have. But with witch hazel just always reacts. So I do mostly, like I said, I do both. I do witch hazel and alcohol. I like the properties that are in witch hazel for your skin, okay? It's a great binder, but it has benefits as well. So I will add in, this coat is going to drive me bonkers. So we're mixing it all in. You keep kind of testing as you're going. So it's like, okay, it's sticking better than it was before. Not quite there. But it is actually like a different texture now than it was with just the oil. It's not enough. It's getting better. So I'm going to add a couple more squirts of the hazel, and then I'm going to switch to alcohol. And it does activate a bit. That's not going to hurt your mix. You just don't want the whole thing to activate, because then you're going to end up with like rock solid bombs. And sure, they're hard and they look great, but they will basically sit in your tub and just kind of do this. They're not exciting. They will work. They last way longer in the tub, which is good. Some people want that. I like that for some bombs. But if you want them to go in the bomb or into the bath and give you that show, you don't want to get them to that point where they're too hard. That's just in my experience, okay? Okay, so I'm going to show you the texture here. It is kind of sticking, but it's not quite where I want it. So this is where I add the alcohol. Now, I have two choices here. I've got 50%, which I like. Activates like crazy, okay? Then I have my 91. I do both, but right now I'm going to do 91 because chances are, and it's not activating. There's no activation going on here. So you spray it in and you mix. And test. As you're mixing, test it. But get in there at the bottom and test. And I should get my whisk in here and it'll mix it up a lot better. But I can already see the texture changing way better. See how it's clumping together better? So I'm going to get my pastry cutter in here. Get right down to the bottom. Get all that alcohol mixed in there good. Plus your hands, of course. Your hands are your best friend. But the pastry cutter works great. So does the whisk. But I told you guys I don't like my whisk that much. It's just, it makes a mess and I can't get into the bottoms where I want to get to. So, okay. So I think by looking at the texture here, even by the way when I'm mixing it in a bowl, you can kind of see how it's sort of clumping. It's a lot like, I don't know, I guess like a shortbread. So anyways, there's your mix. Now to me, that's perfect for molding right now. I should be able to take a chunk in my hands like so, and it's, see, it's very, very, very firm. That is a perfect consistency. So, for molding, I want to show you a few things. We're going to do a test, okay? We're going to start with, I'm going to start with the crappy stainless, but I want to show you what people do that it drives me bonkers, and then they wonder why their bombs break. I see so many people doing this. Actually, I'm going to use the normal bomb. No, I'm going to use this. I see so many people take their mix, put it in the half, and pack. And then they put more in, and they pack, okay? And then they put more in, and they pack. And then they do the same thing for the other half. They put it in and they pack. And then they put more in and they pack. And then they add that extra little loose heap. And then they squish the bomb. This is going to be our experimental bomb. So then they squish. It's very hard to squish. So they squish, and you can see it's so packed in. There's no room for any give. You know what I'm saying? It's so tightly packed into each half here that there is no room for give. So this piece here in the middle, where it's sort of loosely packed, that's where you're going to get cracking usually. So this is going to be the tester one. I'm going to show you. I don't have a spoon to get this off. It never comes apart for me. Maybe we can do it today. But see, you'll see what I mean. You pull it apart. Oh, there we go. This is going to be a funny looking bomb, but this is the tester bomb. And then we take the top off. So we're going to test this tomorrow. Okay, it's very funny looking. Okay, I'm going to leave it so that I know that this is the tester. We're going to check tomorrow to see if that cracks in the middle. This is going to be the tester. So that goes there. Now I'm going to pack one like I show you how I pack normally. So we're going to use stainless. Give your mix a little bit of a mix because you don't want, you know, to spread it through. So when I do this, I put in some. It's not tight. See that? I just put it in. Put a bit more in so it's heaping. I'm not pushing down when I'm doing this. I'm just piling it up so that's higher than the mold. I do the same thing. Put this one down. I do the same thing for the other half, okay? I put it in loosely. I put more in loosely. And then I put that extra bit of heap. It's not pushing it down. I'm just setting it there, okay? So now I take my two halves. And I'm just going to push them together like this. And I'm pushing. They're not quite together. I'm going to push till they go together. That mix that's packed into your halves here, that was not super, super packed in tight, everything inside now is all compacted the same. So there's no spots that are like tighter than the other. So there shouldn't be any cracking in the middle because there's no forcing apart, if you know what I'm trying to say. So that's how you do it, that way. At least that's how I find they work great. Now trying to find the seam without fingernails is really hard, but you don't usually have to pack or bang these ones to get them apart. So that's why I love them. I can't get it off. So anyways, okay. I think I screwed that side up a bit. So anyways, there's your, and it's firm, it's nice. It should come out of the mold nice and easy. And there's your bomb. There's your bomb. Like it's solid, it's fine. You set it to dry. Now, if you're gonna do, say, what should we say? Num num num. Okay, you know what? Let's try a saucer bomb. These things. With these saucers, if you want to keep the rim, I found this out to be the trick. If you want to keep the rim, I keep it sitting in the bottom half. So I basically do this the same. I'm going to put an embed in this one just because I want to. So I would put some in nice and loose, okay? And I'm putting an embed in just because that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to put a big embed in this baby right there like that. So then I pile up more on top, but nice and loose, okay? It's loose. Same thing with the top. You put it in kind of loose, but heaping, okay? So that, come on, big boy. When you push them together, they go together. Did I do the right piece? I just did the wrong piece. Shoot. Okay. That's not going to work. See if I can fix it. Well, I probably could, but did I do that right? Should have been this top. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I put this top on. Fix the rim. I give it a squeeze all the way around the edge just to make sure that it's nice and tight. Knock off the extra. Now, if I want to keep that rim on there, like that, I set this mold in the tray just like that, and I leave the bottoms on until, like, say, oh, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours. Then I'll take it out and I'll flip it over. I'm setting my bombs on the cupcake tray with the dents in it. That should help. If you guys are doing, say, cupcake bombs, This is where you can jam it tight, okay? Because you're filling it in and you're going to have a top on it. So you don't want that loose. You want to pack that in as tight as you can get. And you want room for your icing or whatever so that it attaches. Normally this would be in an icing cup or a cupcake cup that's paper. So you have that space around the edge to catch your icing. Me, when I do these ones, I will show you what I do these with. I'm not going to keep this one, but it's just to show you. When I do these ones, because of the shape, are you going to come out? There we go. I use this side because I like the dent that's there, and then I will put my icing or my bubble cream or whatever on top there, and that's my dent. I don't use it this way. My paper cupcake bombs, I do that this way and fill it up. But these ones, these are the ones that get filled on top. Okay, so, and same with the hearts, same with the other bombs. It's all, the way you lightly fill it, it's just so much better. Let's just do a little one to show you too. Same deal. I fill it up loose. Okay, I'm not jamming it in, I'm not packing it in, I'm filling it up so that it's over. Not crazy over, but over. You want that extra space, right? So I'm filling up my other half the same. Just heaping, like so. Okay, they're both heaped, but it's loose. It's not so loose that when you squish it, it's not tight enough, because that's happened before too, and you have to add more mix. But you want a little bit of resistance, but I mean, you shouldn't be breaking your chest muscles or anything like that. It should just go together, nice and firm, tiny bit of resistance. Like, you shouldn't be fighting with your bomb mold, okay? And then off comes the top. It's really hard without fingernails, guys, sorry. And then off comes the top. Turn it over. Off comes the bottom. It should be that easy. And it's got some weight to it. If it's too soft, when you push on it, it'll just go mush. Then you know you didn't have enough mix. It should be somewhat solid. I mean, it's going to dent. If you really squeeze, you're going to dent it and break it. That's a given. But I mean, you shouldn't be able to just push it like this and it goes mushy. That means that you don't have enough mix in there, okay? So, what else do we want to try? Shall we try a meatballer? I used to have really good luck with this meatballer, and for some reason, it's probably the same concept as pushing too tight. When people use a meatballer, they do this, okay? And they squeeze, and then they squeeze. And then you have to really squeeze it to get it together, but these little finger holes, I find, are a godsend, because you push your fingers in, and then you try to release the bomb. And this is where it always breaks on me. If this one doesn't, I'll be amazed. Okay, well, we got half of it out. That's a good thing. Let's see if it works. So I use my finger, and I push. Come on. Oh, I did it. Oh my god, okay, well, this mix is good for meatballers. Yay! I finally got it to work. It has a lot to do with your mix. Oh, I'm so happy the meatballer worked. Okay, back to the basics. Now I know this mix is good for meatballers. So that's how you do the meatballers, at least, you know. So there's our tester. Should we do a heart? You guys, like I said, if you pack too tight, you're going to end up with a split in the middle. That's just where they seem to come apart. So it's the same principle, okay? Lightly fill, but overfill. And you want a good overfill. Not too big overfill that, like I said, that you're fighting with it, but enough that when you squish it, it compacts it nicely. See, I still got room, but watch. When I push, that extra little bit, like, see, that might have almost had too much, but not really. I think that's actually pretty good. So you just give her a little squeeze, okay? So there, it's in there, and I will obviously have to probably bang it a bit. Not a lot. Don't beat the hell out of it. It's just to break the little bit of an air suction. It gets like a vacuum and it sucks and sticks. It might happen. And if it does have a vacuum, it just pulls the bomb right in half. That's what happens. So, there's the hearts. It's like I said, it's all pretty much how you're packed in, guys. I'm going to try to do a little one and overpack tight and see if this one breaks for you guys. Just to do the test again. So I'm going to fill it. And I'm going to pack it. This is what you're not supposed to do, but this is what I'm going to do for experimental reasons, okay? So, I've seen them. They fill them really tight, pack it really tight. Don't do this, by the way, guys. Then they add that little extra bit on top of both halves, okay? So that's what they would do. And then you push it together. And like I said, they don't normally go together nicely because of how tight the sides are packed. Okay, so I'm going to test to see if this cracks tomorrow. It also, I mean, if it doesn't crack, okay, good, that's bonus. But just find you cannot get a really nice shaped bomb. They always end up with that mucky line in the middle just because of the way it's packed. But let's see. If I pull, alright. If I prove myself wrong tomorrow, well then I just did. But see, I'm finding it's hard to pull apart. There we go. That is a tightly packed bomb, but not the middle. So we're going to test to see if that cracks. So that's going to go beside this funny big boy, so we know that that's the cracky, or the one that could crack. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Try not to pack them super tight. Just, it's the way you fill it. It has so much to do with how you fill it. Let's see if I can do another meatball, because this is freaking me out that I actually got a meatball to work. This is usually what happens. I'll get one meatball, and that's the only one I get. So we'll see if that still holds true. Yeah, that one worked. Beautiful. Okay, I just found the mix for my meatballs. So anyways, guys, I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, please... Oh, he did it again. If you guys have any questions, just send me a message and I'll see what I can do, if I can help. Like that. I'm trying to keep this in the lines of somewhat professional. But like I said, there was the questions brought up the other day of molding, and I just wanted to address it. It's so hard for me to explain in writing, so I did it in video. Okay? Thanks, guys. Have an awesome day, and I will see you soon.